Good morning, everyone. My first class of the day just ended. It's a beautiful morning. I'm gonna go get freshened up in 3, 2, 1. Yes, I have freshened up. My class has started. We have computers right now. And my mom gave me my food. I mean, just look at the food. It's so good. How am I even supposed to focus in this class? I'm just gonna eat, I guess. Okay, so a little taste test is mandatory. Okay, let's see what we have in there. It's potato sandwich. Dip it in some green chutney and some mayonnaise. Oh, ho, ho. It's so good. It reminds me of the street style sandwiches that you get. It's just amazing. अपना ब्रेकफास्ट इज डन और उसके साथ आ गया है मैंगो शेक. ओहो. मतलब so good. Let's make some tonkotsu chicken ramen. We are going to start by taking chicken bones and adding a lot of water to a big pan. Over here you can see I've added a little amount of water, that is just in the beginning. I'll be adding more water to this. I'm just adding all the chicken carcasses to the water and then I'm going to boil it. After you boil your chicken bones in the water, you'll see there's a layer of scum on the top. So it's best if you wash the chicken and take out all the scum, because this way you will have a clear broth and not a dirty one at the end. This is the time when the long braising starts. Fill your pot with water, fresh water, not the used one, and then add back your washed chicken bones into it. Now fill your pot with water. I'm using around 10 cups of water over here. You can use more or less depending upon the size of the pot. Now I've taken a few vegetables such as onions, ginger, garlic, carrots and some coriander stem, and I'm gonna roast the onion, ginger and garlic, which will add an additional flavor to our broth. So now add all those vegetables into the boiling water which has the chicken bones. And a thing to note over here is not to add salt to this broth, because we are going to make an intensely flavorful liquid which is known as tare, and it will give the umami notes and the salty notes and the overall flavor to this chicken broth. To make tare, we are first gonna add 1 cup of water to our utensil. To that, add your soy sauce, oyster sauce, ginger, garlic, sesame seeds and some salt if you require it, because remember, this is the ingredient which is gonna give flavor to our broth. Also, don't forget to add sugar to this. Now, one thing which is to be noted here is this was made during a pandemic, so I did not have all the ingredients, but traditionally people put mirin, some seaweed, mushrooms to add umami to this, but I had none of that, so I improvised with soy sauce and some oyster sauce. Now for the chashu, we are making it with chicken. So first add soy sauce to your chicken. I added around 3 tablespoons, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and then to this add some black pepper. Then to this add ginger garlic paste. This is very much necessary as it will give a really nice flavor. To that then add around 1 tablespoon of honey. The sweetness in the chicken makes the ramen taste even more better. Last but not the least is adding your paprika. You can add more or less depending upon how hot you like it. Give it all a good mix and let it marinate for around 1 hour, and this is how it looks. Now I'm gonna pound the chicken. What this will do is make the chicken flat and easy for me to roll them into chashus. This is how the broth looked after 2 to 3 hours of boiling. I took out the chicken and separated the bones and the meat. Then I put everything back in and let it boil for around 2 to 3 more hours. Now for the chicken, I took them out of the Ziploc bag and then you can see it's flat and kind of shaggy. Don't worry, it's all gonna come together. After taking them out, what you want to do is start rolling. You should take all the shabby bits inside and then roll it. Make sure to roll it out really tight so that it looks nice and the meat does not fall apart while you're cooking it. When you're done rolling the chicken, you want to tie it up tightly with your kitchen twine. Depending on the size of chicken you have, you might need more or less amount of strings. After that is done, you want to put this in your oven at 200 degrees Celsius for around 30 to 40 minutes. Now we are going to make our aromatic oil. First, you want to roast your peppercorns for around 30 to 40 seconds. To that, then we are going to add our star anise and cinnamon stick. Roast them till they're nice and aromatic, and to that then add your neutral tasting oil. I'm using refined sunflower oil over here. You can use anything like vegetable oil or anything which does not have a very strong smell or taste. After you add your oil, you want to let these things fry for around 30 to 40 seconds. Then add a few cloves of garlic to this and let them get nice and golden brown. Then I'm adding some nice chili powder into it, and I'm gonna let that foam up for like 5 to 10 seconds. To this I also added black cardamom, and I'm also gonna add 3 to 4 cloves to it. Then add some sesame seed and sesame oil to it. This gives a really nice taste and aroma to this. Then to this I added a lot of chili flakes. Of course it's a chili oil. And then I let it foam up really well. And also for some reason it looked like a dog. By this time our chicken was ready, and the water you see boiling behind it is for the eggs, which I unfortunately forgot to put in the ramen. I just boiled these eggs for 6 minutes and the results were amazing. There was a jammy center, it was a perfectly soft boiled egg. Now in the same pan in which we made the oil, we are going to add the remaining juices which came out of our chicken chashu. We are also going to add the shredded chicken which came out of the bones which were used to make the broth. After mixing it all up, we are going to add a few tablespoons of chili oil to this and then mix it back again. I let the chashu cool down for around 10 to 20 minutes and then I'm slicing a few pieces out of it. Just look at the cross section, it looks amazing. I took out a thin piece for me to taste it and it was really delicious. Now we are going to cut them into thick slices. I got around 9 slices out of the 2 breast pieces which I used. You can cut thin or depending upon how you like it. Now for the final plating, we are going to add tare to our bowl and then the broth. Now make sure you check for the seasoning and make sure it's right. You can adjust the amount of tare you add. To that then I'm gonna add my boiled noodles. I use store-bought noodles. You can get any fresh noodles which you like or your favorite noodles. On top of the noodles I added the shredded chicken which we made, and then to that I also added some chashu. You can use as many as you like. After the chashu I added a few pickled onions, and write down in the comment if you want me to show how I made them. It's really easy. Then I added a little bit of the aromatic oil which we had made. Last but not least, I finished with the sesame seeds. And yes, I did forget to add the ramen eggs, but make sure that you don't. That is it for today guys. हमारी एडिटिंग हो गई है ख़त्म. अभी मैं जा रहा हूँ सोने. और अगर पसंद आया तो लाइक कर दो, कमेंट करो कि क्या अच्छा लगा क्या बुरा लगा, हाउ शुड आई इम्प्रूव. आई एम गोइंग टू ट्राई एंड अपलोड एवरी डे. एंड अगर आपने अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो कर दो. इट मोटिवेट्स मी अ लॉट. एंड कीप स्टेइंग ब्यूटीफुल. गुड नाइट.